One of the most common questions I get is, which images can I use? This applies to Swedish conditions. There are some laws and regulations you need to be aware of. The European Union's General Data Protection Regulation GDPR is important because images and sounds can be personal data. This applies to digital publishing, for example if you will upload the PowerPoint with images on a web page. The Swedish Copyright Act applies. Do you have the right to use the image? As a general rule, you need permission to use the image. There are some exceptions, but it's safest to think that you always need permission. It is the person who made the image who has the copyright, and it is she who you must get permission from. So, how do you do it? It's worth investing in good photography, especially if you're running a small startup. Hiring a photographer for a day to take pictures of you and the team is often very affordable. Ask several photographers what they charge. Here it is important that you make a written agreement with the photographer about the images that may be used, so that you can use them freely in your company, for example as press images. Otherwise, there are photo agencies and other image banks. The risk is then that someone else uses the same photo as you, but for a PowerPoint it is okay, I think. There are both agencies that have pictures of higher quality and where you have to pay per use, and then there are image banks with royalty-free images of varying quality that keep lower prices. But there are also sites with images that you can use freely, provided you credit the person who made it. They're very useful for PowerPoints. Here are examples of some sites you can use. The copyright holder can allow others to use, for example, an image, provided that certain conditions are met. For example, on Flickr, you should choose images that have a Creative Commons label. There are several levels of Creative Commons, and it is clear from the labeling how you can use the image, for example if you can crop it or use it in a commercial context. If you work at a university or a large company, there may be image banks that are good to use as an employee. Often these image banks are available from a press web page. Since copyright expires with certain exceptions 70 years after the creator's death, historical images can also be used. It can be great in the right context. Photo of the cat was taken by photographer Per Bagge about 100 years ago. There are image banks for special interests as well, where someone wants to share images to promote their cause. Here, for example, is a German image bank, Media, which shows people living with obesity in completely ordinary situations. There are image banks for icons and videos as well. For example, the Noun project has lots of icons that you can buy separately for a very small amount. But if you want to do something more special, you can hire an illustrator who creates icons especially for your company. It will be completely unique and doesn't have to be that expensive either.